NABOO or
Correct.
NABO
Correct.
or anything like that.
Correct.
I think we're making progress.
Yes, the town, the folks are making a progress.
NABO'S.
NABO'S BBQ.
NABO'S.
NABO'S BBQ.
That's how you say it,
Yay!
folks.
Thank you.
Hey, you had a busy Friday.
Oh man, we had a busy Thursday. Was the grand opening. Man, I was.
Somebody told me they rode by there, and well, you had a good crowd up there.
Yeah, we had a great crowd, man. We man, thank you, Dodge County, Eastman, surrounding
so you had a big
counties.
ribbon cutting on Thursday.
Yeah, ribbon cutting on Thursday, man, and then as soon as we cut the ribbon, we went in and man, and folks got fed. Started cooking, man. Folks got fed and enjoyed it. Friday they came back again, and Saturday I got a real good blessing. A lot of folks I worked with when I started down this journey back in 2015. I left corporate America. I was working for Cox Communications, the headquarters up in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And a lot of my buddies and friends came down, man. They came down and enjoyed themselves, and they were supporting. And so I was really, really excited about that. So they're excited for us. And they're able to, not just the fact that we're open, that we have a restaurant, we had a truck. These folks, my best friend, my family came in on Thursday. They understand what has transpired over the last 8-9 years
and what this means to you.
Right, and having the faith and trusting in God to get here. My best friend, he did a post and he was just like, there was times, he was right, there was times I didn't know how I was going to make do or how I was going to get forward. There's been time where the lights were out. There were times where, utilities were shut off. And sometimes I was even, I went to foreclosure with my home in Conyers. I rented places. I had to rent a home. And even during that time, they were constantly sending me, get out of here notices, but God had prevailed. I trusted him. And like I said, when I first got here, I was ready to quit. I was ready to give up on it. I had a job. I landed a job in Atlanta, in Alpharetta. Had it all set up how I was going to live here. And because it was overnight, we work a couple of days and we're off a couple of days.
Gotcha.
So I was going to work it out. And I was waiting for an offer letter. And about a week after that, the lady comes up to me and calls me up and says, "Hey, I'm sorry. They gave the job to somebody else." I bust out laughing. And she says, "Why are you laughing?" I was like, "Well, I'm laughing because God is telling me he's shutting that door." And sure enough, a few months later, we got the trailer. And look now here, within a couple of years, we're at the restaurant. And
what blows my mind is it's almost, you kind of shocked me a little bit when you told me in the office, I think it was last week, you've been around since 2019.
Correct.
In our minds, you've been around a little longer than that. So it's amazing that it's only been 5 years.
Yes, sir. But my best friend, he said something that day. He told me something, not just yesterday. He said, "You ain't never going nowhere." He said, you are in your element. I told him, I said, "I'm home."
Yeah.
I said, "I am home. I'm home here in the county, here in Eastman. I'm home. I'm home with the people. Everyone I meet, I talk with, I talk to, I see. They've been helpful. They've listened. I've tried to look out for them. So
I gotta ask you too. When did you develop your style? Because something tells me you've been dabbling in making barbecue and things like this longer than 5 years, and we know about your family history. But when did that sort of transfer over to you?
Well, it started early. Like I said, my grandfather, he was a chef in the Navy.
Did you watch him do a lot?
No. I'm gonna tell you something even bigger than that.
Okay.
I'm 5 years old. I'm literally 4 or 5 years old, and he had a restaurant, and he literally had me in the kitchen butchering meat. He had me working the fire pit. He literally had me in there.
Into the fire.
Right.
Learned how to do it.
And learn. And so he walked with me. He walked through that with me, and for all the time. So for my first 20 years of my life, I spent working in restaurants because that was all my experience. So here I am now, and a lot of the stuff that I learned over those years, I would just tweak recipes. I had this thing like I can make mud taste good, and it's not that you have to make it fancy. It's just understanding what people enjoy. The best gig I ever had was in New Orleans. I was a prep cook at Houlihan's in New Orleans, and this was about 2 years. My first day I showed up, this guy who's he mopped the floor and stuff. He said, "Hey, do you want to learn how to cook?" And I said, "Sure." The next day, I was surprised. This guy had been a chef for years, but he didn't want to do all that. He was this dishwasher. He literally taught me everything to make, and what he taught me to do was everything has flavors. Every you need the flavor. You need to bring out the flavor of everything that's in that dish. If you're making macaroni and cheese, if you're making spaghetti, that pasta noodle, that pasta needs to have some type of flavor. You don't want your sauce to be all great and you bite into a noodle and it's bland.
Right.
So we started off with a gumbo roux, and he taught me how to layer flavor. So it's the same thing with our barbecue. You don't just get the rub; you get layers of flavor in the bite. And one of the biggest things over the years is I used to fight with people and say, we want our ribs fall off the bone. And I was like, well, fall off the bone is really overdone.
Yeah.
But then I got to understand you got to tweak what you do to match what the people want. And so I found the way that when you get that rib on your plate, it's exactly the tenderness you need to be able to pull that bone. So I'm not in competition, like barbecue competitions, which
Why not?
Which you know what?
I've asked you that already.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me that. Man, it was like me doing bass fishing tournaments. I'm having fun without the stress of competing. I'm having fun, and besides, when you show up and you come back the next week and you come back the next week, that tells I'm won. I'm winning. Mm-hmm. I've got the ribbon. And you coming back, you digging what I'm doing. And so it makes all the hard work, because people have this misconception that you get rich trying to run a restaurant. None of us are rich. The profit margins are so small. Right. You become wealthy because you're doing it because the people you enjoy celebrating people. Right. You enjoy
it's a relationship right, food.
Right. Yeah. And that's what it is, man.
And the fastest way to someone's heart
is through their stomach, man. It's through their stomach, man. And celebrations. That you never think about that when you're doing a celebration. But if the food is not right, it blows the celebration, out. But if the food is great, you don't pay attention to it. You just remember what you ate. You remember how much you had, what you did, and you go back for more, man. So that's the other part about it.
Gotta ask you too now, just to get everybody set, because you're making everybody hungry out there in Radio Land. The hours for your business now, but it's going to be Thursday,
Friday, and Saturdays, and right now we're 4 to 10. But I've learned a lot this past weekend. That time over here, we're going to try it again. And we're going to tweak that because we had a lot of folks show up early on Saturday. Good. We don't have many options on Saturday afternoon. So a lot of folks start showing up early on Saturday. So that was like, maybe you need to tweak your hours to come.
What's early? How early were they?
Man, they were showing up at 1, 2 o'clock. Now I was like, wait, we close at 4. We open at 4. They were like disappointed. They was like, but we want your barbecue now.
That's good. That's good.
Like the spot say. Oh man, I love it. I felt bad because it was like, well, can I? So you know what I did? I had something ready. I had just made a pot of stew. I said, you know what? Here, take this with you. And enjoy. And the two ladies, they just kind of did the Toyota kick when they got back to their car because they had a little taste. So I enjoy seeing that. It makes a big smile on my face.
Any expansion on those hours, or you think you're going to stick to a Thursday, Friday, Saturday system? And if any expansion takes place, is it going to be within those 3 days as far as the time goes, or are you going to spread out the days?
Man, I'm trying to be flexible. So I'm trying to make decisions on the fly sometimes, just
because you got a famous food truck that's expected at places too.
Yeah.
So how you working around that?
So man, we're that's the thing, and that's the thing, trying to put us all together. So instead of just getting stranded out on a bunch of things, I'm concentrating on getting a consistent service cell going through the restaurant. Mm-hmm. Then I can fire the truck back up. But I also encourage everyone to also continue to follow us on Facebook, because there will be weekends where we'll shut down to run the truck for events that we've already got booked for the year.
Right.
Like we're going to be on the 8th and 9th, that's Thursday and Friday, we're going to shut down because we're going to be at Peaches to the Beaches.
Right. But they can still find you.
Right, they still can find us. And I got some other things lined up. Also,
Hey, where are you going to be at Peaches to Beaches?
We're down right. Thank you for asking. We're going to be right below town, down in I can't think of his name right now. It's a field heading towards Chauncey. There's a field on the right hand side.
On the right.
On the right. It's a big field.
Exactly right.
And what he does is he puts the food right in the middle, so when you pull up, you can't miss us. We'll be will be right there. So that's I'm looking forward to it. Every year that does really great, and
Is
also
that
spreads
usually
the
where
word.
you set up at?
Yes, sir. We set up there. Been setting up there for the last couple of years. Man, that Peaches to the Beaches thing, that's the funniest thing to me. You know, here
People
in
take
the
off
state.
work for that. What are you talking
Man,
about?
I
That's
know,
some
man.
serious business.
It's
around
really
here.
serious, man. But it's just like you can do what you can how and how long it is. You know, it's just like, and it's I love it.
There's some people that take the whole trek. They go all up 341.
We had folks come from Hazelhurst and Hazelhurst when we were first starting.
Yeah.
They were taking the whole trek,
Going down to Brunswick.
Going down. They went all the way to the Central. They went all the way to the Peaches, and they came. And when they came through Eastman, they stopped at every spot looking for us. So I was very encouraged.
Good deal.
encouraged
They
by
go
that.
on down.
Yeah, they went on back to Brunswick. They started in Brunswick, came out,
Worked their way up.
worked all the way, and then came on back, man. And man, this is like a huge.
That'd be a big buzz for you that people are flocking to your food like this. I know you're modest and all that.
Man,
It's gotta be
it
exciting.
makes me feel it makes all what I do, the long hours, the long days, it makes it all worth it. Just to see that smile. Just to make someone's day, they're happy with the food. They see their portions and their mind gets blown. They're like, oh, look, wow. I call them now laters. I say, hey, you can get a now later. He said, what's that? You can eat some now and you can eat some later.
That's kind of food I like.
Yeah.
Do me a favor,
Yes.
tell everybody about your social media real quick.
Right. Once again, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram, NABO'S BBQ, the BBQ.
Sharp website, by the way.
Thank you. I'm still working on this. Some more updates. As a matter of fact, you guys, you can now log in to NABO'sBBQ.com and it'll bring up our menu. You can order online. So I got that straightened out. That's working. Instagram, call us at 770-580-0227. Once again, at 770-580-0227. And that you can do, call us about catering.
So can they phone in orders too?
They can call in orders and call us about catering, call us about event.
Because you cater.
We cater and hey man, and we got space. If you want to rent out something or do something, we have space. Coming soon, we're going to do some events outdoors.
Good.
I'm going to bring in some folks to help the community get access to some other stuff that we don't have around here.
Cool.
So we're looking forward to that, man.
All right, we got 60 seconds left. You're going to be back with us soon to talk
Yes.
more about all the great things you're offering there. The
Yes.
60 seconds is yours. Go.
Hey, guys, for Eastman, Dodge County, Smith, Georgia, this week, come and get you some brisket. We're going to have some brisket going for you this week. We're going to run that. That's going to be our first special, brisket plates and brisket sandwiches. Brisket on your loaded barbecue baked potato is delicious. Come on down. You can, once again, reach us at NABO'sBBQ.com.
And I'm telling you what, a great first weekend couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
Thanks
it.
for
I
all you're
appreciate it.
doing.
Thank you, man. God
You
bless
didn't bring
you.
anything with you this
Not
morning.
today, but
I'm gonna let it slide.
we'll get you, buddy.
Thanks for all you do.
Thank you, man. God bless.
Go check them out. Again, this Thursday, they'll be open to get you into the new month. Hey, man, we're happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Talking to Town, a service of Wolf Country News. You want to be a future guest? Call Awanda. She'll take care of you. 478-396-9554. Talking to Town, a service of Wolf Country News.